December 1, IATF has required full vaccination of eligible workers.
DOH procures 44 million syringes for COVID-19 vaccination.
On November 15, DepEd has released a list of private schools in pilot face-to-face classes.
For weather updates, cloudy with light winds over northern Luzon due to Sierra Amihan, fair weather across the rest of the Philippines.
For business news, peso back at 49 pesos range.
For entertainment updates, Oh My Job puts spotlight on labor chief Sylvester III.
For sports news, Jeremy Miato wants to prove worth against strawweights top 5.
For lifestyle updates, best smartphone for the youth, flagship level Huawei Nova 9 can make you the best photographer and vlogger.
Starting on December 1, IATF has required full vaccination of eligible workers. Malacanang announced eligible employees who are doing on-site work in areas with sufficient supplies of coronavirus disease or COVID-19 vaccines will be required to get fully vaccinated starting on December 1, 2021. For more updates, here is Brian J. Election.
Presidential spokesman Harry Roque had this to say Friday, November 12, as the government aims to step up the country's vaccination against COVID-19. Roque said the Interagency Task Force, or the IATF, for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases has approved the measures that aim to increase the demand for vaccination.
Bilang pagsunod po sa direktiba ng Presidente at para tumaas ang demand ng COVID-19 vaccination, inaprubahan po ng inyong IATF ang mga sumusunod na measures na mag-take effect simula 1 po ng Disyembre ng taong ito.
He said the COVID-19 vaccination of eligible employees who are doing on-site work in both the public and private sectors will be required in areas where there are sufficient vaccine supplies. Despite this directive, unvaccinated workers will not be terminated. Public transportation services in the road, rail, maritime and aviation sectors shall likewise require all their eligible workers to be fully vaccinated as a condition to continue their operations. Public and private establishments may validly refuse entry and/or deny service to individuals who remain unvaccinated or partially vaccinated, despite being eligible for vaccination. This is Brian J. Election reporting. Back to you, Wendell.
DOH procures 44 million syringes for COVID-19 vaccination. The Department of Health or the DOH said it already procured at least 44 million syringes early this year through the United Nations Children's Fund or the UNICEF for the country's coronavirus disease or the COVID-19 vaccination program. Here is Edelme Presbitero for more information.
DOH Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere said they were anticipating that there could be a global shortage of said vaccination tool, adding that they specifically ordered the 0.3 ml syringes. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque had this to say Friday, November 12, as the government aims to step up the country's vaccination against COVID-19. Roque said the Interagency Task Force, or the IATF, for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases has approved the measures that aim to increase the demand for vaccination. He said the COVID-19 vaccination of eligible employees who are doing on-site work in both public and private sectors will be required in areas where there are sufficient vaccine supplies. Despite this directive, unvaccinated workers will not be terminated. Instead, they will be required to undergo regular testing at their own expense. This is Edelme Presbitero reporting. Back to you, Ms. Sheila.
On November 15, DepEd will release a list of private schools for pilot face-to-face classes. The list of 20 participating private schools in the pilot run of limited face-to-face classes for basic education will be released by the Department of Education or DepEd next week. For more information, here is Clarice Bayabos.
In a statement issued Friday, November 12, DepEd said that it will release the official list for private school on November 15, which is also the first day of limited face-to-face classes in select 100 public schools nationwide. DepEd Assistant Secretary for Field Operation and National Academy of Sports Malcolm Garma, the final list for private school is still in process. During a virtual press briefing on November 9, Garma said that the list of private schools to participate in the pilot implementation of face-to-face classes is not yet finalized. However, a total of 30 private schools have already been nominated by their respective regional offices. In a public briefing on November 3, DepEd said that the list of participating private schools will be finalized on November 12. And that is all for my report. This is Miss Clarice Bayabos. Back to you, Wendell.
For weather updates, cloudy with light rains over northern Luzon due to the shoreline Amihan, fair weather across the rest of the Philippines. On November 12, Friday, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or the PAGASA, said the prevalence of shoreline or tail end of frontal system and the northeast monsoon or Amihan may cause cloudy to at times or rainy weather over northern Luzon in the next couple of hours. Here is Brian J. Eleccion for more updates.
Weather specialist Grace Castañeda said cloudy skies with light rains may prevail over Batanes and Cagayan due to the shear line in Amihan. Ilocos Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, and the rest of the Cagayan Valley may also have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light monsoon rains. Meanwhile, Metro Manila and the rest of the country may continue to experience partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. PAGASA said severe thunderstorm activities may sometimes trigger flash floods or landslides. Moreover, Castañeda said a gale warning is currently in effect due to strong to gale force winds associated with the northeast monsoon, causing rough to very rough seas over the seaboards of northern Luzon, particularly over the seas of Batanes, Ilocos Norte, Cagayan, and Babuyan Islands. And that's all for the weather updates. This is Brian J. Eleccion. Back to you, Sheila.
For business updates, Philippine peso back at 49 pesos range. The peso appreciated to the 49 peso level on Friday, November 12, to close the day at 49 pesos 0.85 centavos vis-a-vis the US dollar. For more information, here is Edelmay Presbytero.
The local currency strengthened from Thursday's 50.16 pesos after opening at 50.08 pesos on Friday and closing stronger at 49.85 pesos. Analyst currency outlook point to the support of the peso at 50 pesos as traders continued to break this level. BDO Research Group said a sustained break below 50 pesos level could see further test of the 49.50 and even 49.25 pesos. And that's all for the business news. This is Edelmay Presbytero. Back to you, Wendell.
For entertainment updates, Oh My Job puts spotlight on Labor Chief Silvestre Bello III. This Saturday, November 13, Oh My Job hosted with a power trio of Arnel Ignacio, Tuesday Neo, and Bea Benena will focus on the achievements and accomplishments of the Department of Labor and Employment under Labor Chief Silvestre Bello III. Here is Clarice Bayabos for more updates.
This Saturday, November 13, Oh My Job hosted by the power trio of Arnel Ignacio, Tuesday Neo, and Bea Benene will focus on the achievements and accomplishments of the Department of Labor and Employment under Labor Chief Silvestre Bello III. Bello is known to his colleagues and staff as a hard worker and action man who makes sure that there is nothing left undone for the sake of the Filipino business owners and laborers. As part of the government's effort to vaccinate more citizens, Dolly has conducted another round of inoculation for OFWs. And that's all for the entertainment news. This is Clarice Bayabos. Back to you, Sheila.
On sports news, Jeremy Miado wants to prove worth against the strawweights Top 5. Jeremy Miado is taking it slowly but surely as far as his throw-it run in one championship is concerned. For more information, let's hear it from Brian J. Eleccion.
After beating Chinese opponent Miao Tao in back-to-back fashion, Miado, now with Bangkok-based stable Maroon Force, already proved that his first win wasn't a fluke at all. That's it for the sports news. This is Brian J. Eleccion. Back to you, Wendell.
And for lifestyle updates, best smartphone for the youth, flagship level Huawei Nova 9 can make you the best photographer and vlogger. During the pandemic, the role of a smartphone in our lives has never been more essential. In the Philippines alone, more than 8 million individuals rely on the assistance of a phone, from their everyday errands and work support to being a tool for digital business.
And that ends our news for today.
This is Shilomay Leon
And this is Wendell Overquez
on
DFE News.